Should probably update the... Shoot. Should probably update the Twitch page. Yes, I know everyone can hear us right now. That's fine. Hi everyone, if there's anyone listening, which there won't be. So, I'm not worried about it. Okay. They all know how professional we are anyway. Oh yeah, it still says golfing with the pod champions. Let me change that.
100% professional.
Hell yeah.
50%
Every
of the
time. No. Every time.
Also, I was just gonna say you could have just like put the desktop audio level on your XSplit just down all the way so they wouldn't hear us talking until you put it up.
But what fun would that be?
Just a little tip right there.
Fine. Alright, hang on. Let me change the game to they like it. It's endearing, right?
It's our style. It's
yeah.
just our style, man.
There...
We're just doing it live.
Is there a category for podcasts?
talk shows.
Talk shows, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. Talk shows. Communities. There you go. Podcasts. Boom. Right there. Is there a community for hilarious? No. And I'm not putting us in depression, so...
You
boom.
Could make a community for hilarious.
Done.
Alright, so in theory we should be live now.
Alright.
Oh, I see Anchor put hashtag doing it live. Alright, so I want to pop out the chat though. Ooh, what just happened? Something happened. Oh, Anchor's hosting the stream. Excellent.
Oh yeah, I could probably do that too. Wait. Good idea, Anchor.
Everybody host now.
Alright, thanks for that host. Radioactive Starfish is now hosting our stream with one viewer. Alright. Hey, thanks for the host, Giga. Now hosting our stream with one viewer. Rox, thank you for the host, buddy. I feel like we should be playing the theme tune just on a loop or something right now.
Sorry. You hear us preparing, man. That's the kind of content we bring on Twitch, dude.
That's right.
Real stuff.
There you go. I got the theme tune playing as our background right now. So.
Man, this is a good riff. Wonder who wrote that.
I don't know. It's really good though. Oh, should have listened to that stream. Just pop out chat. Hey Lingo, thanks for the host. Lingo is hosting our stream with 15 viewers.
Damn.
PodChamp.
Yeah. PodChamp, I think you mean. Hey, Mr. Bite. Mr. Bite is here for the podcast. Oh, Anchor, trying to do a command. We have no commands here.
I forgot this was a professional stream.
There are no bots, there are no commands. High execution.
Welcome, linguists. We're just about to get started.
We are. Hope you're enjoying this awesome riff that's playing right now. This is the PodChamp podcast theme tune by none other than Mr. Giga himself.
Hey, who's that? He sounds cool.
He is cool. Oh man, now there's actually people here. There's pressure to perform.
Oh, sure.
Wait, don't tell me you have performance anxiety.
That's
one
right.
way to put it.
Yeah, that's right. Execution commands. No, we don't have commands. This is a stream of chaos and disorder. Hey, Gadzooks, good to see you. All right, let's stop that wonderful theme music, which we all love so very much, and let's switch into let's see here. Oh, there we go. There we go. A nice transition to the hello scene. Hello, everybody. Hope you're good. Welcome to the PodChamp podcast. I used to announce what number it was, but I've long since forgotten. So, yeah, so today we've got a couple different items on the agenda. We're going to talk a little bit about the new Twitch community guidelines as much as we can. We will be talking through some news items, a new grant that will support up and coming female streamers on Twitch. And we'll also be talking just a little bit about Twitch's first live game show, Stream On, which debuts March 8th. So we hope you enjoy this little discussion we're going to have, and please feel free to interrupt us, post in chat, and thank you for that host, Creative Wolf, who is now hosting our stream with one viewer. So yeah, let's go through some introductions first. And we'll go in order of the names on the left-hand side, which is coming from our Discord channel. So, Anchor, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about any games or interesting things you've been up to recently?
Okay, well, hi everybody. I'm an Anchor Point, aka Anchor. It's not like any of you don't know me.
There might be someone in here. Come on.
There may be someone. Anyways, so you should probably know, new person, that I'm the best streamer there is on Twitch. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, seriously, you guys, I started a new game today, and it is an action-adventure game, kind of little bit of like 3D platformer type game. And get this, it's pronounced Fia. I've been calling it Faye. I've been calling it Fee. I don't know, but it's called Fia, spelled F-E. And yes, I actually did look that up. The developer said so. So that's what I'm going with.
That's okay. I'm with Starfish. I think we should call it Iron.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Starfish cracked me up when she said that.
I legitimately thought that it was going to be something to do with like iron in some way.
That is awesome. Oh man. Well, here's the thing. I'm terrible at games like this. I really am, because I'm good at following instructions. And when a game just kind of throws you in with no instructions, I kind of don't know how to function. So I did kind of flounder for the first 45 minutes of the game.
It really didn't show at all. We saw you just ease through it all the way. You got this.
Yep, I eased through it straight to when I took a rage break 45 minutes in. But other than that, I mean, it really, I've caught on to the gist of it, and it is really fun, and it's gorgeous. Even if you don't like games like this, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it really did look beautiful. I was trying to think, what was the game with the fox that you had played a while back? And it reminded me of that game.
Game with the fox.
Yeah, you weren't playing the fox, but you occasionally had to chase the fox. It was...
Rhyme.
Rhyme. In atmosphere, it reminded me of Rhyme, but also that other 2D platformer, which I forget the name of as well.
Spyro?
No, the one you bought me, Giga. Ori, thank you.
Ori!
Man,
okay.
I am literally the worst person to host a podcast, because I can't remember anything.
There's this thing
No.
with this name and it does stuff.
No, but that is totally true. Someone in my chat earlier actually said 3D version of Ori, and it's true. It looks very similar, but you have more opportunity to explore deeper in the world, I guess. But I mean, I that's definitely not usually the game I will choose to first pick up, just because I'm not very good at it. But it is an awesome game so far, and the story is really, it grabs you. So I'm excited to finish it at some point.
Yeah, no, I mean it certainly looked good for me to me, and a game I will probably pick up. It really seems like something I would enjoy for sure.
I fucking loved this game, man.
Yeah.
I've played it on stream too, like early this week, and like I finished it right away in one go because I just couldn't let go. It was awesome. I I I love these games where like they don't hold your end, like do this, do that. Like you basically have to figure out the whole story, the whole mechanics, and like your all like directions by yourself. It's fucking great.
Nice. Okay. Very cool. Um, so Giga, moving on to you. You mentioned you've also been playing that game. Anything else you've been playing?
Yeah, well, I played. How do you pronounce Fia? Is that it?
Apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Fia. Okay. Well, I said Fey the whole stream when I was playing it, and then I thought it was actually Fee. But okay, Fia. Yeah, I love that game. But for basically the last month, I've been playing Kingdom Come, and yeah, I'm at the point in the game right now where I'm like the closest you'll ever get to a god complex with like all the gear I've got and everything, and it just feels like absolute freedom. It's amazing. I can do whatever the fuck I want, kill whoever, like anybody I want, and then just go to jail for 10 days and be back again playing. It's amazing.
That sounds cool.
I love that game so much, man. It's probably the game I've played in the last like 5 years where I don't know, like it's the most glitch game I've played in the last 5
really?
years.
I was gonna say, tell us about the glitches because that's the real fun part about this game.
Oh man, it's so awful. It's so awful. Like there's the like whenever you play a game like whatever, like Elder Scrolls or things like that, like there are cute bugs, like getting like your R's getting stuck into a patch of grass or shit like that. But like in this game, it's like there's literally bugs that will kill you. So you'll be in the middle of a fight with like 5 guys, and then you're gonna hit a pebble, and then for whatever physics reason, you're gonna get stuck in that pebble for like 5 minutes, and you're gonna get killed. But like the story is so good, and like there's so many things to do that it makes up for it in my mind. But holy shit, is it ever glitched? Like,
I've watched more YouTube videos of the glitches than actual gameplay.
dude, it has to be the best clippable game on Twitch right now, for sure. Like the best clip moments on Twitch, like has to be from that game in the last like 2-3 weeks. It's amazing.
That's funny. That I haven't seen this game at all, but just purely from the perspective of being super buggy and hilarious glitches and that, it reminds me of the original Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
I just remember that had so many hilarious glitches and stuff. Which there were so many videos on YouTube at the time of.
Were they glitch that got you killed though? Because I played that game.
I
don't remember it being any glitches in like actual like big combat sequences.
Yeah, I don't remember any that actually would kill you. So that's kind of interesting.
But yeah, in Kingdom Come, there's you've just got it all, man. You're gonna be stuck in an invisible wall. You are gonna go through like rocks and mountains and just appear on the other side. Like you are gonna get called out for like killing somebody, even if the only witness who saw you kill that someone is actually dead now because you killed him. So, like everything from the AI to like the actual like environment will glitch at you, but hey man, I still love it. So I mean it was a good experiment, right? Because they were trying to do a more, I don't know, like they were trying to step aside from like all the Elder Scrolls and things like that, with like actually being realistic, like a realistic middle-aged game. And they've succeeded in some way. The combat is pretty realistic, and like all the I don't know, how the people were living back there and things like that are really well made. But like, I think they might have focused too much on realism and like actually forgot like how you would experience the game as a gamer. So yeah, I guess it's a very interesting experiment as long as they like as the next games the next thing they do is more polished. I think they've done well so far. They really did.
Okay. Very cool. All right, so moving on to me. For those of you who don't know, I am Quigabyte, but I don't think there really is anybody in here who doesn't know who I am. As far as what I've been playing this week, or what I've been playing recently is pretty much nothing. There's been so much work between work, and we're buying a house, so there's a lot involved in that. But I would say, and as Starfish knows, I restarted Subnautica because it's fully out. Decided to start the final game from scratch, and I've been playing that with having to eat, so hunger and thirst on, and I'm really kind of enjoying it because when I played it before, I played it more in kind of the freedom mode where you're not invincible, but where you didn't have to worry about hunger and thirst. So it's kind of fun. I've only put maybe 3 hours into that over the last couple of weeks, but yeah. And then obviously a little bit of Hearthstone, just enough to keep up with the free packs every week, and from the Tavern Brawl. And I did notice that this week's Tavern Brawl was actually a wild arena, which was kind of fun. I only managed to get one out of 12 matches though, so that wasn't very good. But yeah, so that's my super interesting outline of the things that I've been playing, which means that I really haven't been playing very much. So Execution says, you only played when Hunger and Thirst was not implemented. No, that's not true. I played when it was implemented, I just never played with that mode on. Because I was just, there's three game modes. There's the game mode when you have hunger and thirst. There's creative, where you can just build anything, no resources and no death. And then there is the
easy mode.
Yeah, so to speak, easy mode, where you have to breathe, you do drown, but you don't have to eat and drink. There is actually a fourth mode, which is I don't remember what they call it, but it's basically a hardcore mode where you only have one life and death is permanent. So but in a game like Subnautica, that would drive me nuts. Very interesting, though, I've been seeing on YouTube that a lot of people have been speedrunning Subnautica, and that's not a game that I would have expected people to be speedrunning. I watched a couple of the speedruns, and wow, it's pretty crazy. So
I've been wanting to hear your take on this for a while, because you've played this game a lot.
I know,
it was
I have.
in early access.
Yeah.
And like, is the full release living up to your expectations, or did it disappoint you in any way?
Well, here's my problem, and I mentioned this, I touched on this briefly in some of the other podcasts, is when I first played this game, I was in awe because, I mean, the graphics are amazing, and the whole, you don't know what's coming, you know, and it's actually, for a survival game, it's very story-driven. You know, it does have elements of freedom where you can build whatever you want to a degree, but there is a story to go through. The problem is, I know all of the creatures, all of the resources, how you build everything. I know what the storyline is, so it's kind of it has tainted my enjoyment of the game because there's not really any discovery left for me, you know, because I played it in the early access for so long.
Yeah, I guess that would. Yeah, I guess. Well, I guess you get that problem from any game you play in early access before full release, though. That like you've explored it like
yeah,
as much as you could in early access. Then when it comes out to full release, there's not as much things you can do because you've explored so much already, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you, by the way, you were a robot there for a moment, but it seems you've come back to humanity.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure what happened there. I'm sure Discord was just being weird for some reason. But yeah, I think the game has lived up to expectations based on the reviews I've been seeing. You know, from people playing it the first time, or from, you know, organizations reviewing it, and it's getting reviewed very well. They did clean up a lot of things for the final release. There's a little bit of polish, but I would still say it's actually still quite buggy in places. So I feel like it's not. I mean, it's not a AAA game, so I don't necessarily. It doesn't have a AAA price on it either, but yeah, it's not bug free, that's for sure. So Mr. Byte says, yeah, when an early access game goes release, I'm like, I've already played this all the way through. So, yeah. Starfish says, I'm doing the robot thing too. Are we done with the robot thing now, or?
I mean, it's better.
Okay, because you
I think
sound
it's good now.
okay.
It
All
might
right.
have been Discord servers.
Yeah, we'll assume it was Discord servers and hope it cleans
It's
up.
back to normal.
Yeah. Execution says, but they're still planning to implement a lot of stuff like Arctic and tropical biomes. Yeah, so I haven't heard about the tropical biome, but definitely the Arctic biome. So pretty excited about that. They talked about potentially having another character that came from a different life pod, maybe on the different side of the planet. So yeah, so certainly room for some interesting stuff there. All right, I talked for quite a while there. So Starfish, moving on to you.
So I haven't had a lot of time to play games either, but I have been playing a new, well, it's not super new, a mobile game that's new to me called Odin Kart 2, wherein you play a little old man who runs a hot pot stand and you win by listening to people's problems.
What is
What?
this game?
Wait, what is it called?
Odin Kart. It's actually Odin Kart 2 is the one that I've been playing.
I'm gonna have to look this up.
Oden. Actually, I'll link it. Hang on.
Odin Kart. Okay. Gadget says, the hell?
I'm a really good listener. I think I would win this game.
But are you? We'll find out.
True. I will be
'cause
tested.
Odin's a type of food, noodle, I think.
How do you
Yeah,
spell this,
yeah.
Starfish?
Oh, Odin, not as like Odin the god.
Wait, udon?
No.
I'm so
Guys,
confused.
it's not that hard. It's ODEN.
ODEN.
Okay,
So it
all
is
right.
Odin the god, right? What?
Oh my god, it looks so cute. Wait, can I have it for iPhone too?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's on
good, good,
iPhone too. I just happen to have it on Google Play, so that's where I linked.
Got it. So you listen to people's stories. What's the point of the game?
So you basically win by getting to the end of their story, and they talk themselves through their problems as they make multiple visits to your stand. You can stock their favorite foods to make them come back. So I mean, there's a little bit of a restock vibe too. You've got to keep food in the food cart, but it's cute. It's kind of a fun way to pass some time. It's not hard. I mean, there's nothing to do other than to listen to their problems and keep the cart stocked.
So does this game have a price attached to it, or does it try and plug microtransactions at you?
So far it's been ad driven.
Ad
I
driven.
haven't
Okay.
seen anything for microtransactions yet playing it, and I also haven't paid them anything for it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, looks
I
interesting.
am downloading Odin Kart too.
Oh
Me
my
too,
gosh.
right now.
Guess what? I literally just downloaded it, and when you open it up for the first time, it starts taking you through like a Star Wars style scrolling introduction. So I quickly closed it because I want to go through that at another time. But it even the icon in the app looks cool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed.
Very
Everyone
cool.
download it.
And it looks like out of 2,083 reviews on the Play Store, 1,796 of those have been 5 stars. So I guess it must be fairly interesting.
We can always count on Starfish to keep us up to date on like excellent mobile games. 'Cause I'm pretty sure the last time we did one of these, you were playing a mobile game then too, and I was like, "Man, that looks fun."
Yep. All right.
I fly on a lot of airplanes.
Is this a sponsored stream? No, it's not a sponsored stream.
I mean, it's not, but you know, guys that did Odin Kart 2, if you're looking for any show to sponsor, please get in touch. Thank you.
So here's the funny thing. I just went to put the Balls Guarana logo on the screen, but I deleted it just before we went live.
Oh,
So yeah, Alex isn't here to plug it, so I don't think I can do it justice.
He's such a good salesman.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
All right, Rux, how about you?
I've not really played anything that is worth talking about. I mean, I'm playing Puzzle Quest from like 2007,
That was a good game.
so I'm playing that. I've been playing Monster Hunter World, but I'm not sure if I've talked about that before or not. But
Yeah.
it's a solid game. I've
Okay.
played some weird ass Steam games that involve weird nudity.
Okay.
ooh, weird nudity. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, weird nudity is
Oh,
always
Now,
good.
Not the
Talk
normal
about
kind,
that,
the
dude.
weird kind. Of movie.
No, like I played Photo Flash, which is basically like it's like one of those. It plays like one of those really, really, really old like collectathon games where you just like walk around like a map from like above the ground view, I guess. Like Pokemon, basically.
Mm.
Also, I just want to address Mr. Byte. Like, that's a fucking deal, dude. Donate 500.
Yep.
Donate 500 right now, and you got it, man. I'll take my best deep voice to say that shit every 10 minutes. Do it right
Ooh.
now. You won't.
Deep
Yeah.
voice giga worth.
We don't have a donate link, so
I can give you a link.
Yeah,
It's
good.
Yeah,
My PayPal link?
Just direct all your donations to twitch.tv/gigantus96. That's where we do all our financial stuff. So just go right there.
yeah. So I'd like to. I think Mr. Byte needs to hear how this is going to sound, Giga. So I think you need to put on your best voice and sell it to him right now.
Auditions.
We need money first.
Oh, we need the money. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
There's no
Yeah.
free samples.
Hell no. Hell no.
All right. Anything else, Rex?
I've just been completely thrown off track.
I know. It's just like
There's just-
we completely ruined it for you, but yeah.
Just doing a podcast with a bunch of shilling whores.
Hey, you've been working with us for a while now. You know this. You know this about us.
I know, I'm just messing around. Anyway, if you want to see more great games, you should go to my stream.
That's right. And where can we find your
Plug
stream?
Yourself. That's good.
And is
It's-
that
it-
twitch.tv/Rux by any chance?
Yeah, and it's really, really shit.
You heard it here first, folks. It's really, really shit. Check it out.
I'm the worst streamer on Twitch. There, job done.
There you go. Well, that's worth watching, I think. All right. Moving on. How about you, Wolf? So introduction for those of you who don't know you, and anything you've been playing.
Does anyone here not know me?
There might be someone. Come on.
I'm the resident mod kind of person. I don't know. I'm around.
He's
You know
around. Yeah.
Wolf, he's around.
I'm around. That's a good intro. Anyway.
Oh, gadzooks.
Oh shit, Zeus, damn.
Oh, I'm not that old yet. That aside, anyway, I haven't really been playing much of anything either. This is sad, guys. But I've just been playing Fortnite with some friends from time to time. They might be in the stream.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And today I started a new game. I downloaded Vermintide too, and I played one match, and I fell in love, and I'm anxiously waiting to play. some more.
So the real question is, when do we stream DAP co-op? Like, I've told you in the channel,
Right
man.
now.
I
Right
want to
now.
do this shit.
Well, he's already been coercing me into buying
Yeah, I
it.
literally went in that room. I was like, Anchor,
So
download it while we're doing the podcast because we need to play.
the next PodChamp plays may have to be Vermintide. We'll see.
It's basically Left 4 Dead, like if you had to boil it down, like real simply. So, but newer and better.
And set in the Warhammer universe, right?
Yeah, Warhammer Left 4 Dead, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't play the first one, but I know it got a lot of really good reviews.
The first one was amazing,
Yeah.
dude.
And I actually watched, I think it was Total Biscuit was playing it for a while. It looked pretty cool. So,
I didn't play the first one, but
yeah.
I now wish or maybe I shouldn't have, because I feel
There
like
you
this
go.
is a game I'm going to get addicted to real quick.
I don't think the fact that you've been playing, from what I've heard and seen on streams, I don't think the fact that you've played the first one really matters for playing the second one, honestly. So
I don't think so. I'm hoping not.
Mr. Byte says, I want Warhammer 40k Left 4 Dead. Yeah, me too, buddy. That would be awesome.
Space Wolves?
All right, Jay Garrick 52 is now following. Thank you for that follow.
Woo.
All right, so let's move on to our news segment, and there we go. I did change the scene. Oops, and I'm still on Odin Cart 2, so we should move on from that. Okay, there we go. So, who are we going to start with? We will start with the new grant will support up-and-coming female streamers on Twitch. And Anchor, I think you're going to kind of lead the discussion here.
Yes. So basically, what you need to know about this is the 1000 Dreams Fund has partnered with Twitch to offer grants to at least 2 high school or college students every semester, between $500 and $2,000 per award. And this is basically to be used as funding for female streamers, conference travel, updated equipment, workshops, other tools like that. And also to kind of go along with Women's History Month, basically bringing, our resident podcat, of course, has realized I'm doing something important and has sat on my note sheet. I kid you not. Anyways, basically bringing recognition to bringing women to the forefront of broadcasting. There is a top 10 list out there of top broadcasters on Twitch, and those top 10 broadcasters are all male. So 1000 Dreams Fund and Twitch are partnering to basically help fund new and upcoming female streamers and lead them to success, basically. The other thing that I should mention is that from March 1st to April 1st, on Tiltify, there is a Streams for Dreams fundraiser going on, where they're basically going to be highlighting, spotlighting certain female streamers who are involved in the fundraising for these grants. So you can also check that out on Tiltify if you want to help support the cause for Women's History Month. And I guess the only other thing to mention is that this grant is only open to high school or college students and affiliated or partnered broadcasters. So if you're looking to get a grant like this, basically you must be in high school or college classes and affiliated or partnered on Twitch. But I think personally it's a great opportunity, and I wish I was still in school when this was a thing.
You know what I find interesting here? It says the goal is to help illustrate the gender gap women face in specific fields, including streaming, which is still predominantly male. And it says a 2016 study reported that women make up 35% of Twitch's streaming landscape, and there aren't any female streamers in the current top 10. So that may still be true. I'm not quite sure, but that really kind of surprises me that there aren't any female streamers in the top 10, because so many of the streamers that I follow and watch are female. In fact, I would say I follow more female streamers than I do male streamers. And I guess that's interesting to me, why there wouldn't be any female streamers in the top 10.
Yeah, and I think I actually clicked that streamers in the current top 10 list link earlier, and it is, of course, the people. When you think of, I guess, larger streamers who are male. I mean, Lyric is on there, obviously, and stuff like that. And yeah, I was kind of surprised at that fact as well. But I think the goal in the end here is to change that, to give female broadcasters a little bit more of a boost, I guess, to grow their streams and visit conferences to broaden their communities and update their equipment and stuff like that, so that they can be on the same like tier as some of these other top streamers.
All right, very interesting. Also in the news, so Twitch's first live game show, Stream On, debuts March 8th. Starfish, tell us about this.
So there are going to be 14 sort of mid-sized streamers, small to mid-sized streamers that are going to participate. They're going to compete for 11 weeks every Thursday, same time, same place, for the chance to win $60,000 paid out in installments. So it isn't like one big payout. It's like a little paycheck for a while. And viewers are going to interact via an extension overlay.
Okay.
So they're going to be able to vote and go and participate in challenges with the streamers that they're supporting.
What kind of challenges?
They didn't specifically talk about it in the article, but they talked about like mobilizing your community to do something. So I'm not really sure.
Okay.
It'll be interesting to see. And it specifically talked about that the challenges are going to be streaming related, I believe, because it talked about how they want to use this to both raise visibility for the performers who are on it, but also to serve as an educational experience for people who want to learn to stream. So I thought that was an interesting take.
Okay.
I wonder if it's going to be like a little bit more, I don't know, formalized version of like the PJ Sultan tournament. Like if they're going to be pitting streamers against each other to play certain games or something.
I'm not sure. And they may. But there's 14 of them and there's 11 weeks. So that elimination cycle would have to work pretty quickly.
Who's getting voted off the island first?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious. How did they get voted off the island? Like, that's how I'm curious. Like, what are... They've been really, like, I don't know, silent about that part of the show right now.
Well, I mean, the most obvious way would just be get rid of the worst performer for the
Right.
task of the week until you're left with 3 in the final week, which is how it works out.
Yeah. I imagine that the people who are there live to watch, the viewers, would probably have something to do with the way people get voted off. But I'm just
Well,
talking.
are they going to
Like,
vote
I don't-
people off, or is it
I
just going
don't
to be?
have.
I'm kind of with Rux. Wouldn't it probably be more related to the performance in the games that they're playing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I
Because,
mean, we don't have that detail yet. It just says that it'll have an overlay for people to interact with the stream. So I'm imagining that would be a potential use.
We can speculate, yeah.
Right. I'm speculating. I don't know.
Well, damn it! I don't want speculation. I want answers.
I want facts.
Right.
Cold, hard facts.
You know, I wouldn't. Twitch might not even know themselves at this point. So
It is
I mean,
Twitch.
They probably do, because it's starting on Thursday.
Right. I was
so-
going to say it starts
They're
on
going to use
Thursday.
the first week as a test and be like,
If they
I mean-
don't know, they better figure it out damn quickly, man.
They're just going to leave it till Wednesday night to figure it out.
I mean, to speculate more though, there's a lot of room for problems because, like, if they do like community set challenges, if like the community does the worst, then they get voted off. Then that's kind of like belittling, I guess, in a way. So
Yeah,
they're gonna
what
have
if-
to be careful of how they do it.
yeah.
yeah,
What
there's
if you
gonna
have a
have
small
to.
community or you stream at weird hours? Like,
So in Starfish, you touched on this a little bit, but it says the show won't feature those whose fan bases are still small or who are somewhat inexperienced with streaming, but it also won't feature creators who are already well known. So they're finding that sweet spot in the middle, right? So people who already have a fan base know how to stream, but aren't mega superstars, I guess.
We'll see when the roster's announced.
Yeah.
The roster has
Oh yeah,
actually
it's
been
already announced. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Where can we see
if-
the roster?
if you scroll down a little bit
Oh,
on
it's right
your
here.
page there, it should have the list. There's 14 of them. I just didn't want to read them out.
Okay,
It
I'm going to
didn't
zoom
seem
in
like
on
a
it.
super.
There we go. So if anybody recognizes these people here, we have 88-bit music, Bonsai Baby, Sarah Corelia, Cooking for Noobs, Ferociously Steph, Glan FM, Koibu. Oh man, I'm regretting reading these out now. Maijin Taj, Suchi Kuchi, The Buttress, The Only Ryan. Hey, I know him. The Stacy Roy, Wavy, and Zamira Mira. There you go. So a fantastic reading there of all those names. And any of you, if you ever watch this VOD, then I apologize for probably horrendously mispronouncing all of your names. I know you probably won't. But yeah, the only Ryan, I believe he was the leader of the stream team that Drew used to be on.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, so that should be interesting. Partnering Thursday, March 8th at 3 p.m. Pacific time.
But like, this still brings the question though, like for the voting system, doesn't like, and like we won't know until Thursday, but like, if the community on Twitch is actually voting, will it not be like the bigger your community, the best chance you have of winning?
Well, yeah, and the other thing too, I mean, $60,000, you guys. Like, there's actual real money on the line. So I don't think that unless
Which
they
is way
have some
better than
serious
lottery.
rules, I don't think they can just leave it up to people's communities. Like, I don't know. That just doesn't seem like fair to me. Like, if one person's community really rallies, they win all that money. Like, what if your people are sick or something? I don't know. Like, I just think there has to be like more solid rules when like actual money is on the line, but I could be wrong.
Probably. I mean, I hope. Like, it just seems weird that like with all this like not explained, like 4 days from the I don't know if I should call it that, but tournament, I guess. Like it's if it's just based on people on Twitch, like it seems like the bigger your community, the bigger the chances, right? But maybe Ash is right. Maybe like there's some like super, I don't know, solid rules that will, I don't know, avoid that. But I hope at least.
If it is based
Okay.
on their gameplay, that'll work though. It'll just be
So-
who's playing the games best.
Yeah, but
One thing I noticed as Quig was scrolling us down on the screen there, it said that the voting would be used specifically to save people from elimination. So you're not eliminating, but you might be able to save your favorite.
Ah.
Okay, right here. Viewers are meant to interact in real time by watching, cheering, and participating in challenges. They will also vote to save creators from elimination using a custom-built extension overlay on the channel page. Interesting.
Yeah, so it does sound like it's going to be like gameplay based. Like, how good are you at this game? And then if someone sucked, they might be able to save them.
Interesting. So yeah, so that is, I believe we said, let's see, Thursday, March 8th at 3 p.m. Pacific. So tune into that if you're able to. I'm sure they'll have a VOD too that you can watch, and it's on Stream On, I guess is the name of it, right? Yeah, Stream On. So the channel is Stream On. All right, moving on from that, and one of the things that are being discussed probably the most recently is the changes to the Twitch community guidelines. Now, as I understand, the changes to the Twitch community guidelines go live tomorrow, March the 5th. That's Monday, March 5th, tomorrow. And yeah, there's been a lot of discussion about them. There's a lot of trepidation from some people about the changes that are going on. So I think what we're going to do here is we have the changes to the community guidelines right here on Twitch's page, and I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here. And I think what we'll do is we'll scroll down here and see see what we have in the new guidelines and see if there's anything that we feel is interesting to talk about, anything that is surprising. And I would encourage anyone who's in the stream right now watching to give us your viewpoint, your opinions on this, and any questions you have too. While we may not be able to answer them, they may stimulate some interesting discussions. So we start off, Mr. Byte is saying he is sent to Twitch jail. Yeah, so I've seen this meme quite a bit. So let's look here. Breaking the law. You must respect all applicable local, national, and international laws while using our services. Any content or activity featuring, encouraging, offering, or soliciting illegal activity is prohibited. So as far as I'm aware, nothing new there. You know.
You're not allowed to do illegal things on the internet?
Yeah, apparently
Oh.
just because you're on the internet doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. You know, who would have thought? So.
You know, you say that with sarcasm, but I also think that sometimes it needs to be said. Like, because I
Yes.
feel like there really are people out there sometimes who just think that they can do whatever they want and there are no repercussions for their actions.
That's true.
So for everybody that's been buying weed off of my stream, we'll have to stop now. Sorry, guys. So just DM me on Discord if you want
DM
more.
you on Discord. Oh,
I mean,
boy.
like, like, that has to be the most obvious fucking like requirement
Yeah.
available, right?
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's move on. Suspension evasion. All suspensions are binding until expiration or removal upon appeal. So basically what they're saying here is don't circumvent suspensions. You know, if you chat on someone else's account, that can result in that account getting suspended. And suspension evasion increases the lengths of suspension and could be an indefinite suspension. So if you get suspended, just suck it up. Self-destructive behavior. Any activity that may endanger your life or lead to your physical harm is prohibited. This includes, but is not limited to, suicide threats, intentional physical trauma, use of illegal drugs, and drinking excessively. So, yeah, I mean, pretty obvious and straightforward. I think, you know, you do see some people who drink too much on streams, but
My question is, how do they judge that? Like, I mean, I think they said a long time ago that they didn't want people to do drinking streams where the amount of alcohol you're imbibing is determined by people tipping or cheering bits and stuff like that, to kind of like avoid the whole drinking excessively thing. But like, I don't know, drinking excessively for me might be different from Quig drinking excessively. So like, how do they judge your drunkenness, I guess?
Well, there was that guy who was in the news about a year ago or so. He died on stream while drinking. So
Yeah, but like,
probably they need to try to limit that.
what is
So-
Twitch going to do about that, though? Is my point. Like,
And like, I would add to that, like, where's the line that you don't cross? Because like, if I take who could I take for example? Oh, let's take Hunter. Like the Hunter. Well, basically you can tip him for him to drink like that super like spicy vinegar shit that he drinks.
fire cider,
Yeah. So like, how is that like
Well,
worse?
that's different, right? That's not even alcohol. So
I know.
Well, but it's
It's
self-destructive.
I was gonna say it's still arming you. Yeah.
If he has 5 shots of that stuff, he'll spend the next 2 nights in the bathroom.
Yeah,
probably. So like,
that's what I'm saying. So like, Wolf just proved my point. Where's the line?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I guess
what's not to cross?
Right, but I
I
mean,
don't think you'll ever end up in the hospital from that. I think that's the thing.
right. I mean, I don't know how they would define it though, because I mean, what are they going to do? Put a blood alcohol level on there? You may not have a blood alcohol level of over
Yeah.
this amount.
that's what. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like,
Because
I
even
think
that
it-
will be different per person. So
I think this is mainly. I mean, it's kind of like a common sense thing, I guess. Like, don't be using illegal drugs or like taking 20 shots on your stream. But I feel like they have to say it, even if it seems like common sense to most people. Like, they have to say it because of things that have happened in the past.
hmm yeah, no, I agree. All right, so they've got some explicit information about violence and threats here. Acts and threats of violence will be taken seriously. There's zero tolerance. All accounts associated with such activities will be indefinitely suspended. So they list out here attempts to threat to physically harm or kill others, attempts or threats to hack, DDoS, or SWAT, use of weapons to physically threaten, intimidate, harm, or kill. So no murdering on Twitch. They do not support that. So, but yeah, I don't know if this is any different from the current rules, but I mean, it's clearly spelled out there, you know, don't threaten people, don't tell people you're going to hack them, DDoS them, SWAT them, you know, again. Hateful conduct and harassment. So they talk here a little bit about hateful conduct is content or activity that promotes, encourages, or facilitates discrimination, denigration, objectification, harassment, or violence based on race, ethnicity, national origin, religion, sex, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, disability, medical conditions, physical characteristics, or veteran status. Whew. So again, they have zero tolerance on hateful conduct, and yeah, they just really. Now, I believe one of the differences here, which I saw, was this is now prohibited both on and off of Twitch. So I saw some discussions about this, but in other words, they can ban you from Twitch for you threatening someone off of Twitch. So
yeah, I was reading that they're basically going to be watching your social media. So if you're like saying, I hope X person dies on Twitter or whatever, they're going to be like, goodbye.
I don't think they're going to watch. I think they're going to let people submit screenshots.
Yeah.
Like report people, yeah.
Right. I don't think they're going to go out and monitor Twitter or anything. I don't think they have that kind of manpower.
I didn't really mean like closely, but like they'll take a look at it if someone brings it up.
Yeah, and I always find this interesting because you see some companies have this kind of thing, right? Like social media guidelines, the things you can and cannot say on social media, and all that kind of stuff. And it becomes interesting because it's, why is it any of your business? But at the same time, you don't want those kind of individuals on your service or potentially representing your brand, right? Is what it comes down to. So.
Plus, I think it kind of, I mean, I guess I'm speculating a little bit, obviously, because I don't work for Twitch or anything. But I also, if I was a partnered streamer, okay, so I'm earning an income from Twitch, and they are also profiting off of me streaming on their website. They have an obligation to some degree to protect their quote unquote employees. I mean, if I'm a partner streamer and I'm getting death threats on Twitter or Facebook, no, that's not on Twitch, but like it behooves Twitch to protect those people. Like even just about like being a good human and not wanting, you know, somebody to kill someone else, but also because that is your employee and you need to protect them to some extent. So,
well, yes and no. I mean that they're not employees. You know, partners are not employees.
Yeah.
But
I
mean, I
get say that too. You know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I still think they're probably still thinking more about damage to their brand, honestly.
Because I'm with Quig on that. Because like if they don't act as if they cared, like that's where they look bad. Like if they don't say, well, we protect our creators that are like threatened on Twitter and Facebook and everything like that, like that's where the brand looks bad. So
yeah, I guess that's kind of what I meant.
It's more in that line, I think, that they're doing this.
I think this goes back to like YouTube kind of with the debacle it's when going on with like Paul Logan and the like. They're just putting this into the terms of service to be like, if this kind of thing happens on our platform, we're going to do something about it.
So I think a big thing or a big reason why this one was particularly controversial is because when you click into their harassment guidelines, like their more information on harassment or whatever it was, it specifically says creators are the role models and leaders, and they should consider the consequences of their statements. And it talks about how they make a good faith effort to quell any efforts from those in their community to harass others, which kind of indicates that they're holding the streamer responsible if their community goes a little rogue. At least to attempt to bring it back. You know what I mean? They did clarify that a little bit in their latest FAQ.
I think that makes sense.
It does. It does. I mean, if you're fostering you are the leader of that community. If you're fostering a negative community, a poisonous community, that is your responsibility. Right now, you shouldn't. As long as you make a good faith effort to police your own community. You know, you have mods. You use auto mod. You have you use third-party tools, that kind of things, to moderate your community and set clear guidelines on to your community members. I think you're fine. But yeah, I totally, I'm on board with this. I mean, why shouldn't creators be responsible for the community that they foster?
I mean, really?
That's why it's controversial. See, even in the podcast.
Oh,
What?
my opinion is like I consider this is just how I'm going to analyze it because I'm a weird person. But I consider it the same as like religion, where like say if someone's done something idiotic, you don't blame the whole religion, do you?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Well,
It's,
except people do. I mean, historically that has happened.
yeah, yeah, fair enough.
No, but what I'm saying is that most religions don't preach the stuff that other people do. So, like, to put it into context, say you have a member of your community that does something bad. As long as you're not prohibitively saying, "Oh, you should do that something bad," then what are they going to do?
Why should it
about
fall on you? Yeah, I was gonna say because like, okay, let's take an example I said earlier. Like, let's put it in any other context. Like, I'm a teacher IRL, okay, and like, I don't think I preach any like bad things in my classes or thing like that. But like, if like one of my students goes out the class and does some shitty thing, like, should it fall on me because I didn't lead a good example?
No,
but
that's not what they're saying. What
yeah, they're
saying
saying you should tell them to not do the shitty thing, and that covers your
yes,
grit.
yes.
It's more.
But
if
like,
you're
I'm
promoting
already
shitty
doing
things.
that, and like the streamers are already probably like, well, maybe not all streamers, but like a majority of streamers are already doing that. So like, is it still gonna fall on them if like someone in their community goes saying bad stuff on the internet?
That's not what. No, because as long as you have that good faith effort, so if someone's bringing that up in your chat and you're shutting it down, then no, it's not going to happen. Like, you're not going to be held
So
responsible.
basically, they're just saying like to not encourage that type of behaviors.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
yes.
Okay.
Because some chats do, or they don't make any real attempt to stop it.
Yeah.
And you can really tell when you get into a chat where things get a little bit toxic. Like, it's easy to tell that it's a toxic chat.
Yeah, some
And it's
streamers.
definitely the mod style.
Yeah, they definitely like inspire the toxicity versus like try to stop it.
Yeah.
So they do actually, I'm just looking here, reading down here while we were talking about this. They do actually talk a little bit about it, you know, clearly communicate that kind of attention is unwanted. But I think it's really about, like Starfish said, that good faith kind of, and I'm thinking about some of the even the larger streamers, right, who will encourage their audience to go raid someone they don't like in a negative manner or something like that. So I think personally that's what they're targeting.
Basically, play nice.
Yeah. I was so because like the way I understood it at first was like they they were basically, I don't know, being condemned for the acts of like their
Right.
community, and like that I wouldn't have been like okay with that, but like, but yeah, I guess good faith is like fair enough. I
Yeah.
guess, yeah.
Also, Mr. Byte says, "Hey, I'm here to do illegal things and get drunk on the internet because PodChamp podcast didn't explicitly tell me not to." Well,
I'm
Mr.
pretty
Byte,
sure we just did.
we don't encourage that kind of behavior. So, yeah. All right. Okay, so I think we've covered that topic. So then we have unauthorized sharing of private information. So do not invade the privacy of others. It's prohibited to share content that may reveal private information about individuals or their private residence without permission. So, I mean, pretty straightforward, but things that some people might not realize or might accidentally do, right? Because they don't realize they shouldn't do that. But so I think it's good that they've outlined it here. But don't share, real names, locations, IDs. Restricted or protected social profiles, and then it says, and I'm reading the third bullet point here, broadcasting content obtained from filming or streaming in a manner that invades another's privacy and or takes place on private property without permission. So yeah, don't dox people and don't share intentionally or unintentionally information about someone's identity, I guess.
And also, don't be a creeper. That's what that third one sounds like to me.
Don't
But
be a
yeah.
creeper.
Get permission if you are.
Yeah.
Get permission to creep.
I always get permission to creep. Impersonation. So don't impersonate people or organizations. Any attempts to misrepresent yourself as a member of Twitch is a zero tolerance violation and will result in an indefinite suspension. Pretty straightforward. Spam, scams, and malicious content. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty straightforward. I mean, it talks about phishing, defrauding, malware, viruses, tampering, selling user accounts. This is kind of interesting, this last one, though. No reselling Twitch services or features, such as channel moderator status. So you know what? That's interesting, though, because I'm trying to think. Can't you... Okay, so this is interesting. You can spend virtual points in some systems, right, to be like moderator for a day or something.
Yeah.
I guess there's no
it's a
real
perk,
currency.
Yeah.
I guess there's no real currency.
Yeah, I was gonna
associated
say.
with it. I was just thinking about that one. Can you set up like 500 bits to become a mod?
Would be. Talk about desperate, man.
Yeah.
guys, if you give me the equivalent of $5, you can become a mod in my channel. That's my only guideline that I follow to choose my mods. Shit.
Yeah. Right.
That's low, man.
Yeah.
Mine's gonna be $6.
$6. Okay. $6
I'll take
bucks or
$1.
real bucks?
Just $6 of any sort.
Did you hear that? Wolf will take $1.
Oh wow.
$1. That's a great deal.
All right, so I just want to say that for everybody that bid on my eBay ad for a mod in Anchor's channel, I guess we can't do that anymore. So I'm sorry for that. I'll refund you. Okay, good shit.
All right. Nudity, pornography, and sexual content. So nudity and sexually explicit content or activities such as pornography, sexual acts or intercourse, and sexual services are prohibited. Content or activities that threaten or promote sexual violence or exploitation are strictly prohibited and may be reported to law enforcement. Child exploitation will be reported to authorities via the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And sexually suggestive content or activities are also prohibited. And this is interesting. Although they may be allowed in educational contexts for pre-approved licensed content, in each case subject to additional restrictions. So, and then they have a learn more about sexual content policies, which I'm actually going to click on here real quick and see what they have.
My question for all of you guys is, do you think that specific reference is to like directed at creative streamers specifically? Because I think it is.
It may well be.
Yeah, I guess so.
They specifically already said that body painting is not going to be eliminated by these new things.
Yeah, and I think like I watch Levin, formerly Electro Kittens, and I know she was worried for a little bit if her content was going to still be allowed on Twitch, because she draws like, I guess, kind of synth pinup-ish characters, and her content isn't going to be affected at all. But I think that's what they might have been referring to with like educational, like you're drawing the human form like in a non-sexual manner, and it's not pornography, so like it's okay. But
You
There's an
still can't
example,
have nudity in art. Like they've specifically said that don't draw nude art.
Really?
But
Okay.
yeah, but you can draw
cleavage.
as long as you've got some coverage, like there's a branch over some specific areas, something like that, so you don't have any of the anything suggestive showing.
So what's kind of interesting is I did see somewhere, it may have been in the FAQs, they were talking about that specific point that you were just talking about, and one of the reasons it said was because Twitch currently doesn't have user preferences to stop people seeing that. In other words, they don't have something in their platform for you to say, I don't want to see anything that's sexually suggestive or explicit. Now, the way they said that makes me think that they may be considering adding some kind of option where you can say, I don't want to see sexually explicit content, or not necessarily explicit, but suggestive or nudity. And then maybe streams can flag themselves. And I have no basis for that whatsoever, other than the fact that one of the FAQs said that because they don't have any technological way for people to indicate their preference and then to limit the content, it's not allowed. So it just made my mind infer some things a little bit.
I never understood why they didn't add a 18+ stream option for streamers. It's kind of weird.
Well, is that not what the mature option is?
It's mature, but anyone can click that. There's nothing stopping anyone from being like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I guess.
It's kind of interesting.
Mature. Like mature cheese.
So I did stop here on the sexually suggestive content and the nudity and attire. I thought maybe we could take a quick look at that. So it defines what sexually suggestive content is, and says that it's prohibited. So it says, when reviewing this type of sexual content or activity, we will consider its intent and context based on a number of factors, including but not limited to behavior and commentary, reaction to content, chat messages from the broadcasters, moderators, and chat messages they permit in the community, attire and environment, such as location, background music, props, camera framing, angle, and focus. I know there's been some attention to that, right? Because when this first came out, I know there were people talking about some of the camera angles some people use. I think we all know what we're talking about there. Stream attributes.
I don't know what you mean.
Really? Okay. Stream attributes such as titles, intros, outros, custom thumbnails, and other metadata. Profiles and channel content such as banners, profile images, emotes, and panels. So, I mean, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that is enforced. And I mean, what's a bad angle? They don't say specifically, but you know, I assume the face has to be visible if you have a camera, but who knows? I'm just looking at the chat here to see if anyone's got any comments on it.
Well, they gave examples I was trying to mention earlier, later on in that, about like, if you're at a beach, you can wear a bikini and everything. If you're working out and you have an IRL stream at a gym, you can wear gym attire. Like, that's fine. But yeah, I assume like if you can't see face and you can only see lower half of your body, then
well,
you're gonna get something said.
In that same vein, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with the streamer Stronk. He literally has a cam mounted under his desk, and when someone like does a really big raid, he'll switch to the cam that's under his desk that is focused directly on his thigh area, and he does like thigh smacks.
Oh, really?
For raids. He works out a lot, so he's got like these very muscular like legs, and it's been like a thing that he like changes his cam and like smacks his thigh. And so I'm like, that's got to be gone, right? Like they are, I mean, even though that's not necessarily sexually explicit, it's a suggestive camera angle. So they might crack down on stuff like that too.
Yeah, and exactly what Wolf was talking about is that next paragraph here. Streaming is a public activity, therefore we recommend creators wear attire that is appropriate for public attire for the given context, intent, or activity. For example, game streams, mostly at home streams and profile channel imagery, we recommend attire appropriate for public settings, such as what you would wear on a public street, to a mall, or a restaurant. But hey, you haven't seen what I wear to a mall, so, you know.
True.
For example, for a fitness stream or an IRL stream from a location such as a public beach, attire appropriate for those public contexts is recommended, such as workout clothes or a swimsuit. So that's kind of interesting, right? They're saying swimsuits are fine. You can wear swimsuits if you're doing a fitness stream or an IRL stream.
What if you went to the beach but wore like a dinosaur costume, for example?
That's inappropriate.
That would be entertaining.
If you want to stream that, I'm down to watch.
Because it's not really appropriate for that area.
Yeah,
But
so,
it's not nudity either.
well,
Unless your dinosaur costumes are a lot different than mine.
How do you know it's not nudity?
yeah.
I never stated what sort of dinosaur costume. Thank you very much.
It's a transparent T-Rex.
It could
Oh
be
my
like
god.
it could be like black leather BDSM dinosaur gear.
I want to Google black leather dinosaur BDSM gear now.
Now I'm just imagining a dinosaur codpiece. Thank you for that.
My imaginings are worse, so.
Wow.
I'm a Stegosaurus.
Okay, moving on from that. So anyway, they just talk about, you know, the attire should be appropriate for the situation.
So yeah.
Yeah, attire.
So if you're wearing a swimsuit, just switch to IRL, right?
Yeah, and then you're fine, no problem.
Well,
You have to be at the
and
beach.
go to
though.
a beach.
Yeah, you gotta go
What
to
if
the
I
beach.
what if I have a green screen and a beach behind me?
Yeah.
So
But you're
I'm
not at the beach. You're at the green screen.
I think it was like I'm just missing. I know it's pretty clear, but I think it's like Moon that was saying like he did one of his two like stream where he had a camera and he had like one on like is the button of his shirt, the top one was unbuttoned, and like people were just making fun of him, and he just said, "Can one of my mod please switch to IRL?" And it did like all this, I don't know, and then he got like a lot of shit from it on Reddit, and like, but it's kind of it's a bit weird, isn't it? Like the line is a bit, I don't know, blurry, I guess, from the.
this is probably the
line's
clearest
always
they've
been
ever
blurry,
outlined
though.
it, though.
This is probably the clearest they've ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, attire intended to be sexually suggestive and nudity are prohibited. Attire, I like this, attire or lack of attire intended to be sexually suggestive includes undergarments, intimate apparel, or exposing, focusing on male or female genitals, buttocks, or nipples. So, very specific. So don't focus the camera on the nipples, and then you're fine.
I have a question about this specifically.
So, like, under boob is okay, but not nipple.
Apparently.
Got it.
Well, is our breasts considered female genitals? No, I don't know.
Yes.
I mean, it said nipples specifically, so.
yeah,
you know.
problem.
Anyways, my question is, I have a shirt that I purchased that has a little sketch of like some breasts on it. What if I wear that shirt? It has nipples technically because the nipples are drawn on.
I mean,
I'm just saying, where do they draw the
We
line?
can
Like,
test the gray area. Go ahead
Probably
and stream
shouldn't
and
wear it
we'll
on
find
stream.
out.
Yeah.
well, I've already worn it on stream twice, so
Well,
come
now
at me,
we'll find
Twitch.
Wow, lots of discussion going on in the chat. I'm not sure how much of it I feel like calling out, though. Let's see.
Maybe not.
Do we
Yeah.
want to talk about Casey Strawn?
Yeah,
I
it's,
mean-
it's okay.
So basically, if you have a foot fetish, you're fine.
Yeah, no problem. Well, didn't they used to say
Wait.
no focusing on feet or
Is
something?
feet
yes.
allowed now?
Yes, but they don't say that here.
So feet are a thing again.
All right, let's see.
Barefoot stream.
Yeah, right. Nudity and sexual content in games. Games featuring nudity, pornography, sex, or sexual violence is a core focus or feature, and gameplay modified to feature these elements are entirely prohibited. So this is basically what they had before. No adults-only games. No games where the focus of the game is sexual content. But games that have sexual content where it's not the focus of it and it isn't rated adults only are okay. And then they have the, the same list of prohibited games that they've had before, of which Honey Pop is on here, and I do not appreciate that. Oh, they've added Honeycam Studio here too now.
No!
So The Witcher is okay, but Honey Pop is not.
Honeycam Studio is such a fun game.
Hey, Kingdom Come is okay, dude. I've been streaming.
Is
Also-
there nudity in that one?
There's literally like a possibility of like 4 or 5 sex scenes.
Also, I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
that's the thing about
highlight.
Witcher.
I'm gonna highlight the name of this game. Really? I mean,
Honeycam Studios?
no. It's called Suck My Dick or Die.
Oh,
Literally,
okay.
that game.
Wait. Is genital jousting on that list?
Yes, it is.
I didn't. Oh, it is.
No.
Genital jousting is on the list. Sorry, guys. Wow, there's some great games on here.
I saw all the Sakura Angel games. I bought those on Steam at the last Steam sale, so rip.
Oh,
I
yeah.
literally only buy the Sakura games as a long-running joke with my friends.
I need to play
I
them.
mean, who doesn't want to play it?
Oh,
They're not great.
so interesting in chat.
Yes, but-
Execution is talking about Yandere Simulator. Yeah, you can watch there's a whole series of YouTube videos from the developer of Yandere Simulator trying to get Twitch to explain to him why his game is banned. So yeah, you can look that up on Twitch,
Did they ever give a
on
reason?
YouTube rather. It was something to do with one version that he had released, and so they're not willing to remove the ban until it's fully released, and they'll review it again because they don't take a policy of continually reviewing games that are in development. So he had something in one version of the game, I believe, that was against that they didn't like, and so they put it on the ban list, and they're not going to take it off until there's a full version of the game released, because he did, as I understand, remove whatever it was that component was. So anyway, I actually have never played the game, but I just happen to know that. So anyway, yeah, so that's interesting. They do have the piece here about I'm an artist, I want to paint a nude portrait not intended to be sexual. Is that prohibited? Oh, and here's what I was talking about. As we do not yet provide sufficient tools for viewers to limit their exposure to nudity and mature content, artistic and educational nudity are not allowed. We are working on ways to make this possible in the future. So it does sound like there will be some ability to say, I'm okay with seeing this stuff.
There should just be a button that's like, "Are you okay with seeing nipples?"
Right.
Or like
like a mature filter, like
not
you can
safe for
mark it
work
down in your
switch.
stream. I do 18 plus, and then people who have that marked in their profile should be good to go.
All right. I think I got lost here. All right. And then extreme violence, gore, content that exclusively focuses on extreme or gratuitous gore and violence is prohibited, which is interesting.
What about
Oh,
horror
cool.
games that are
Yeah, so that's what I was
gore-oriented?
thinking. Yeah.
I think they're talking about games like Postal, where they're like the whole point of the game is the point of the game is murder people and enjoy it.
That's how I play GTA.
That's how I play Kingdom Come.
That's how I play Fortnite.
So
It's still different. Like the whole game revolves around that mindset. It's not just you're doing that for fun. The game is about that.
I don't know. And then they talk about unauthorized content sharing and copyright violations, DMCA, blah blah blah, etc. No rebroadcasting sports matches. What I think is interesting here is, you know, and this was something when we were at, I think it was at TwitchCon, we saw a panel on, talking about you basically have no right to stream anything, any games. It's only due to the fact that companies recognize that it's usually, they recognize anyway, that it's a positive tool for them from from an advertising standpoint for their games. But fair use is only a defense in court. It's not a right. So you basically have no right to broadcast any game because it's all copyright.
Are there any public domain games? I feel like there must be some.
I'm sure there are. There's old games, I suppose, where the developers have explicitly said, we're putting this in the public domain now, and there are a few for sure. I think even is the original Doom? I can't remember. I don't know, but yeah. And then it talks a little bit about categorizing your content appropriately, respecting intellectual property rights. Don't cheat too. That's interesting. Don't cheat in online games. Any activities such as cheating, hacking, botting, tampering that gives an account owner an unfair advantage in an online multiplayer game is prohibited. This also includes exploiting another broadcaster's live broadcast in order to harass them in game, such as stream sniping. Was this put in here for Crip?
You can say that for a lot of people.
I know. He just thinks that everybody's sniping him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting. And then closed alphas, betas, and pre-release games. So they're just saying respect whatever, NDAs, embargoes, publisher rules, etc. Unless given prior approval, your channel may be subject to DMCA takedown by the rights holder. So, and remember, if you get a DMCA against you, your channel will be suspended immediately without any warning. So, whether or not it's a valid DMCA takedown.
Yeah, which is terrible for anyone that just has like a developer that has no
right.
Like they just like, I don't like your review that you did on Twitch of my game, so goodbye.
Yeah. So there we go. That's the new community guidelines. I don't think there's too much in there to be afraid of. I think they've explicitly outlined a lot of things which maybe were a little hazy before. Could they have done better? I'm not sure. Some of those things are really hard to define. What do you guys think?
I think we'll get a true taste of it once the implementation goes through tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are going to be those people that play it safe and change their camera angles, change what they're streaming on Twitch, change what they're wearing, stuff like that. And then there are going to be those people that want to test and maybe push the boundaries a little bit and see, what they can get away with, basically. So I think we'll truly see how it works out starting tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just looking through the chat here. Let's see. Execution says, if I'm not wrong, Square Enix did not want anyone streaming or uploading to YouTube gameplay from Persona 5. And then Rux says Atlas.
Yeah, it was just like a pre-release thing where they didn't want people to ruin the story of the game.
Okay.
And then, it got backlash and Atlas were like, oh shit. And then they kind of, smoothed it over, basically.
Hmm.
But they'd still prefer it if people didn't, spoil the fucking game.
Yeah, and I can understand that for some games, but I really think it's viewer beware, right? Don't go into a stream if you don't want to see the ending spoiled. But
it's just that long-standing argument if let people from buying the game or encourage people to buy it.
Yeah.
Those things.
I agree. Yeah, that is a good point. I've thought about that myself too. For story-driven games where the whole game is basically a story and it's only minimal interaction from the person playing the game, it almost comes down to, are you basically broadcasting a movie when you play it, or reading through a book? So it is an interesting one, because for those kind of games, knowing the ending may make you not go out and buy it. Whereas with the majority of games, I see something I like, I go buy the game. So
it's a weird one. I think I think if someone made a story-based game and they were like, I'd rather have no one stream this, thanks, then I feel like they've probably got the right to do that. But if I don't know, it's just
Yeah.
like, hey, don't use my content, please.
Yeah.
I feel like my opinion on that should be just like, well, good for them. They won't get as much publicity, but it's the decision they've made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how the community reacts to the guidelines. I think Anka's 100% right. We'll see those people who change the way they're streaming, and we'll see those people who do want to see, how much they can push it, what's going to happen, and I think that's good, because you need that. You can put all the rules you want, but until you decide how you're going to enforce them, it really doesn't matter. So. All right, so before we end, is there any questions from anyone in chat? Anything anyone would like us to talk about that we didn't cover today? And we'll give you a few minutes to answer that. And while we're thinking on that, you know what? We're going to play, quite possibly, the best theme tune in the world.
Oh, I know what we didn't talk about. Go vote in the Indie Amplifier, guys.
Oh shit, that's right.
Cast your vote now.
Do it.
Hang on. I can't hear what you're saying. The theme tune's playing.
Go vote.
Give it 30 odd seconds and we'll be good. I'm rocking out to this theme tune.
Guitar. I feel like one day you should put some blocks on.
We maybe should have some kind of trigger for the Blobby song. We'd only be able to use a little snippet and be in fair use.
All right, there we go. So the theme tune is finished. I couldn't hear what you guys were saying while it was playing. Did we miss something?
Indie Amplifier, go vote. Do it now.
We're just
Go.
talking about Blobby.
And then we should have a Blobby segment where Mr. Blobby music plays.
What did we
So
miss? I'm sorry. Indie Amplifier?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's where we get to vote on the next Twitch Prime game, right?
Yeah. They've got, I don't know how many, 12, 10, 8, something, indie games. And until March 11th, we can vote to say which is our favorite. The one that gets the most votes, everybody's going to get, who has Twitch Prime, on March 15th.
And if you're not sure if you like one of those games, Dizzy Kitten and Simcopter are going to be playing them, and that site that Starfish linked lists the dates that they're going to be playing each of the games. You can kind of go check it out to see maybe which one you want to vote for. And actually, a lot of them have already happened. So
Most of them are VODs now.
Okay, very cool. All right, so I think that's the end of our podcast. Thank you everyone for showing up. We really appreciate it. It was a good time. So and it was even better because you guys were here. So thank you for keeping us company while we talked and ranted and rambled. So we are the PodChamp podcast. That's PodChamp, PodCast. You can find us here on Twitch, on YouTube, and on Twitter. Thank you.
thanks everybody for hanging out.
Bye.
Goodbye.